Fitness Equipment Studio, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. Look who's back, everybody.
I'm here. I'm back in the fold.
They let you out of the Riverside TV studio finally.
Finally, I get to be back at my home with you, Pep Fernandez, with Johnny and the boys here at Teen Vision. I couldn't ask for a better time. I love it.
But we do love the coach's perspective on Riverside TV. You do a great job with it.
Hey, thank you. It's fun. I'm like you said, we were talking before the show, week 7 already. Unbelievable how time flies.
Yeah, we've got so much to cover high school football-wise in this show. We've got a lot of great interviews coming up. We're also going to hear from University of Redlands head football coach Mike Maynard, Life Pacific Hoops coach Tim Cook. We got a jam-packed show, but right now we're going straight out to Hemet. We're going live to the home of the Hemet Bulldogs and their head coach. And Jeff, we love this guy, the great Dennis Gregovich.
One of my favorites of all time.
Coach, how are you doing?
Doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Good. Hey, where's your daughter? Your daughter was just there. We just saw her. Where is she?
She's right down here. She had to come to practice. She bumped her nose, so she's real excited today.
Oh, how's your nose? Are you okay?
How's your nose? She's excited. She got out of school a little early today.
She's a Gregovich. She's tough, right? So.
Amen.
Hey, Coach, you're having a pretty good week coming off that big win against Citrus Hill, and it was a wacky 10-7 score. Just quickly, recap that game. What exactly happened? I don't even know what happened in the game other than you guys won by 3. What happened?
Well, I'll give it to you as quick as we can. You know, Citrus Hill's a great team. They're well coached, and we managed is going to have them rolling. They were already 5-0, and it really just got to be a defensive struggle. Both defenses played well. We started off. They tipped the ball when we were moving down their side. They ran it back for a touchdown. We got back on the board and answered for a touchdown. It was about 4 minutes left, and they went to punt. We got lucky. Malachi Jones blocked it. Desta Waters caught it. We pushed it about another 10 yards, set it up for a field goal, took a field goal with about 2.5 minutes left, and that was able to hold up after Bradley Fye got the interception in the end zone at the end. So really great game. Our kids were very excited.
Yeah, we had some big wins in our area last week, but the Bulldogs beating Citrus Hill was probably number 1 up there. That was a huge win for you guys, considering Citrus Hill had won, I think it was 44 straight Mountain Pass League games, 13 straight league titles. And I mean, you played them tough when you were the head coach at Talkwitz. There was a couple good games you had with Citrus Hill, but you finally got them, Coach.
Finally got them, was all excited about it, but, we're trying to keep things into perspective. We've got to play Beaumont this week. Steinberg does an awesome job up there. The next week after doesn't get any easier. Galliano and San Jacinto is rolling, so we got to do our best to keep our kids focused, and, that's the task at hand.
Now, Coach, I had an opportunity to cover you guys against that North game, and I will say this. The hardest football game I've ever called in my life was that North football game. I've never seen so many penalties it was a wrong. Now, what has changed from that week to where you guys are now? Because I saw really signs of how great you guys could be.
Well, defensively, like I said, most of those kids were, we had a lot of returners. They really understand Coach Galloway's system, so he's able to do a lot of stuff. Offensively, we're still growing. It's just growing pains from week to week. So every time we see something new, we've got to, coach our kids through it on the fly and get them through and do the best we can. So we've got playmakers, but it's a work in progress. It always will be. So we got to keep that in the kids' head.
Hey, Coach, you had mentioned playing Beaumont and Jeff Steinberg this week. That's an absolutely huge game. But when you look at your whole league schedule, you open with Citrus Hill, then you play at Beaumont, then you get San Jacinto. Those 3 games right out of the gate for Mountain Pass League game are massive. I mean, the league title is going to be decided in the next week or 2.
You know what? I don't buy it because, same thing. Talkwitz is still winning a couple games. West Valley still. Everybody's improved. You cannot let your guard down in this league for 1 week or somebody's going to get you. It's just too good at coaching and too good at athletes all the way around. Mountain Pass is pretty tough this year.
But with you guys beating Citrus Hill, it's now wide open. You know what I mean? Like the Mountain Pass League is turned on its side. And it's wide open this year.
Well, yeah, because everybody looks at it. I'm sure Beaumont's thinking, well, if they can beat us, that opens it for them. Everybody's still got to play, San Jacinto. Citrus Hill's got to play San Jacinto. And I'm telling you, Citrus Hill's a very good team. We just happened to get, our defense just happened to play good enough that night, and, the special teams to put us in the spot to get that. So don't sleep on Citrus Hill. Very well-coached football team.
All right, Coach, just do us a favor, though. Let's not have a River Valley League when they had that 5-way tie for first place. I mean,
I hope not. I hope not. I'm going to pray for that.
Well, Coach, hey, it was great talking to you. What's your daughter's name, by the way?
This is Peyton. So, Peyton, one more time. She want to say Peyton Joe.
Hey, Peyton. I hope your nose feels better.
She's being shy. She hopes you feel better. She's usually not shy. But I appreciate you guys. You guys do a wonderful job. Everybody loves you. Anytime you guys need us, you know we're here for you.
Thank you, Coach Gregovich. We appreciate it. Good luck on Friday night against Beaumont.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, Coach. That's Dennis Gregovich, the head football coach for the Hemet Bulldogs. And yeah, you called their game on Riverside TV. North won, what was it, 7-6?
7-6. It was a brutal game to call because I'm telling you, I've never seen so many penalties until the following week when I had 37 penalties in the first half.
Oh, man.
One half.
Sounds like a long game.
Oh, it was 2.5 hours just getting to halftime. It was the longest game I've ever called, but I'll tell you what, I think Coach Gregovich.
That's where you've been.
That's where I've been the whole time. I've been calling that one Elizabeth game. Oh, it was brutal. But no, Coach Gregovich, great guy. And I'll tell you what, that North game was good other than the penalties.
And you got a Hemet Bulldogs helmet now.
Yes, I do. I have all the helmets. Everybody that's been great coming into the coach's perspective has given me a helmet.
So you better wear one next week.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing that fits my big head.
Hey, let's keep the show moving along. Let's go to our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game of the week. And lo and behold, Jeff, it is your game on Riverside TV as Hillcrest will take on Norte Vista. I know it's only week 7, and as Coach Gregovich pointed out, we still got a lot of football to play, but that could be the River Valley title, right?
I am calling it right now. I'm throwing my salvo. This is for the league championship. Norte Vista already eliminated Ramona. They beat them by 5 touchdowns. I'll tell you what, Norte Vista is playing great. Hillcrest is playing great. Hillcrest nearly beat Kaiser. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, going into the season, I would have said, Novi's the favorite to win the River Valley League again. But when Hillcrest gave Kaiser such a great game, I thought, oh, maybe Hillcrest is going to challenge the Braves.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they've got a great young coach, Travis Carter, in his first year. He does a lot of different offensive schemes, and he's going to have Norte Vista on their heels quite a bit. It's a lot different than what John Brandon ran. And I'll tell you what, defensively, it's going to be tough for Novi because they got an outstanding quarterback at Hillcrest who can run, can throw.
Yeah.
Hey, he's very dynamic.
Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne can play.
Hey, we got some highlights of Norte Vista from last week as they beat Ramona on Riverside TV. And Jeff, going into this game, that was the game, right? Ramona was undefeated. That was the game.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, the first part of the game told the entire game. Norte Vista ran for 25 offensive plays and held the ball for the first 14 minutes of that ball game. 14 minutes. They held it the entire quarter. Unreal. It was the longest Ken Batdorf, the longest Ken Batdorf has ever held the ball. He said it was almost a quarter and a half. Pretty incredible.
That is unbelievable. And Novi picked up that huge win, 43-7 against Ramona, to set up this collision now with Hillcrest coming up. And Jeff, you had a chance to catch up with head coach Ken Batdorf, which I think, was it the training room at Norte Vista? Where were you guys?
We were in the training room because everywhere it's so loud, and we had no cool backdrop. We're not pricey over there, so we decided to go in the training room and sat there and did a little interview.
All right, here's Jeff and Coach Batdorf the other day sizing up this matchup with Hillcrest.
Sports.
Well, we played pretty well. I'll give Ramona a lot of credit. They came up with something pretty interesting on defense. It took us a while to figure it out. They were playing a great bend but don't break defense. I think we wore them out a little bit. We had a 14-minute drive to start the game and 20-some-odd plays. I've never seen them that long. And, they turned the ball over, and we were able to capitalize on that, which was great. But they put a touchdown in the half. So, kudos to them in keeping it close and having a good game plan. Second half, we came out, did real well with the ball. I know losing their quarterback hurt them a little bit, not just with play calling, but a little bit of an emotional letdown to their team. So we were able to capitalize on some more turnovers and kind of put the game out of reach at that point.
Well, Coach, everybody was talking about the big game, and I'll tell you what, River Valley League play, you guys start off with 2 very good teams, Ramona and then Hillcrest. What are your thoughts on Hillcrest going into this week's game?
Hillcrest is outstanding. Great job by the coaching staff. Travis Carter is doing a phenomenal job. He's got some outstanding assistant coaches. The kids come out and play, and I've seen them play once in person. Really impressed. They played Kaiser down for down. Could have been either team's game. They're very, very good. They could easily be 6-0, and they play a very tough schedule. They have all the missing pieces that teams need. They're fast, very fast. Maybe the fastest team we'll see this year. They've got some big kids up front. They have a quarterback that's outstanding. They have good receivers. I mean, they're solid everywhere.
So that was Coach Ken Batdorf at Norte Vista High School. So Novi versus Hillcrest, big game this week. They had a big game last week against Ramona. But one of the biggest games from last week, and it was a crazy finish too, was Redlands East Valley against Redlands. We got video of that game, of the Smudge Pot rivalry game. Jeff, that's what it's all about right there.
The Smudge Pot. Do you know what the Smudge Pot is? Do you know what it is? You're a
I've got like
guy.
4 or 5 in my backyard.
See, you're a good man then.
Yeah, keep those orange trees nice and thawed out, I guess.
Yes,
right?
when it gets nice and chilly.
Nice and toasty. A lot of fans out there for this big matchup. We got the Litter Box, which is the Redlands East Valley fans, and we got the Boneyard, which is the Redlands fans. It's always one of the biggest rivalries in the Inland Empire. And Redlands beating Rev for the first time since 2012. Final score was 20-17 in overtime. So Rev in OT, they were tied at 14 through regulation. Then in OT, Rev got a field goal. Redlands came back to win it on a halfback pass, a trick play, and that was the difference in it in overtime. 20-17 again was your final score. Let's come back here live in the studio because that's going to set up our spoiled slick play of the week. I made a call out on Twitter like, I need video of this game-winning touchdown. Twitter never fails.
You got the video.
Twitter always wins. Let's go to our spoiled slick play of the week. And it comes from the Smudge Pot rivalry game. It was the winning touchdown. The halfback pass, check it out. Jamal Hines will hit an open Matt Oliveris in overtime, and that was it. Go home, everybody, out in the lands. That's Redlands. As Redlands wins 20-17 in overtime, it's our spoiled slick play of the week as we watch it one more time from a different angle. The halfback pass, Hines to Oliveris. Live it up, guys, and get your oil changed. That's spoiled. It's your spoiled slick play of the week. Congratulations. All right, when we come back, Jeff, guess what?
We got more?
More high school football. We've got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about Chaparral. We're going to talk Rancho Verde and an interview with Jayden Daniels. Remember that guy, right?
That guy, he's pretty good.
He was formerly at Cajon, now tearing it up at Arizona State. We've got that when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. We have customers folks that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
4 receivers. Back to pass. Wentz rolls left. Now throws to the end zone. Intercepted. Wolverines win.
Wow, it looked like Pasadena City. I think the play was already over when they stripped the ball out, but it was an interception before, and that's how we're going to end with time expiring. Cullen.
Picked off by Claude Dent.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
You know it. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. We're live and amplified every single Wednesday here at Teen Vision TV 16. Yeah, SBVC on the bye week, coming off that big win. Great job by Cullen Holt on the call.
Always great to hear Cullen.
So last week, Arizona State had a bye. They did not play, and it was a chance for Jayden Daniels, former Cajon star who rewrote the record book for everything,
yes,
to come back. And Jeff, the Cowboys retired as number 5, which is not a huge shock. It was like a matter of time, right?
I mean, that's the quickest retirement ever. You go to college, you come back, and 7 weeks later, we're going to retire your jersey.
He was barely gone.
Yes, I'm telling you, man. So, yeah, they retired. I saw he was in town, too.
Yeah, he was in town for a little bit. Again, ASU was on a bye week, but now he's going back to work for Pac-12 play. But he came back home. He came back to the Dino. He had the number 5 retired. So here's an exclusive interview with
Sports. Just really grateful for this moment. Grateful for Coach Rogers, whole staff, Mr. Embriani, everything they've done for me.
Is it kind of fun to be back at Cajon? I know you're doing great at Arizona State, but is it good to be back home?
Yeah, it feels good to be back home. Watching my little brothers ball out, the ones I play with, I grew up with since I was young. So just watching them ball out, it's a great feeling.
Now you're off to a fantastic start at Arizona State. How can you kind of sum up the last couple of weeks? Big road wins, Michigan State, big win against the Cal Golden Bears. What's it been like being Jayden Daniels the last couple of weeks?
I mean, just got to stay humble. Just going out there, just playing football each and every week. We had 2 big wins coming up on the road. We just got to win out now to try to win a Pac-12 South title.
Now, I'm not trying to simplify it, but at the end of the day, man, it looks like at Arizona State, you're playing like you were just at Cajon, like you're the same guy. I mean, playing quarterback, is it the same whether you're a Cowboy or a Sun Devil? It looks like you're just doing the same thing at the college level.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a love for the game. Really just playing football at all levels. I mean, the speed is just different, but it's still football.
Now, you used to be number 10. Did somebody have number 5 on the team? Like, how did you switch, or why did you switch?
The quarterback before was number 5, Terry. So my freshman year, I just stuck with number 10, just stuck it out the whole year, and then the next year I switched to number 5.
Did you ever think you'd have your number retired?
No, I didn't actually, but I mean, I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
Inland Sports.
Jayden Daniels, good dude. He's done our show so many times, and I mean, he's going to be playing on Sundays.
So nobody can wear that jersey ever again?
Never. Not you, not me, nobody.
Man, that's pretty sweet.
Maybe his mom.
Maybe his mom.
His mom, Regina, could probably wear it. Let's go into more high school football. The big game last week, there was a lot of big games, but Chaparral versus Murrieta Valley. We got highlights of this one as well. And Jeff, man, it was crazy out there as our reporter, Bobby Ulrich, he's back in the mix.
Wait, he's back?
Bobby's back, and he was at the game. And, man, Chaparral. Listen, we knew the Pumas were good. Now we know for sure they're good as they went on the road and won at Murrieta Valley 30-27. Are you impressed, Jeff?
That's really impressive. And we had talked about them beginning of the year, and people were saying how good they were going to be. But, man, when they go out on the road and beat a very good Murrieta Valley team, you know they're legit.
Yeah, for them to beat Murrieta Valley on the road like that, and a Murrieta Valley team that's already had some quality wins, like this was a good Nighthawks team. So now it sets up a huge game this week against Vista Murrieta. So Chaparral versus Vista Murrieta, league title implications written all over this one. That's going to be a huge game. Let's come back here live in the studio. The guy that you just saw that's going to set up our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. Let's go to that because it's Chaparral running back Hunter Rohde, and Hunter went off, Jeff. And this was his first game of the season. 185 on the ground, 3 touchdowns. And listen, we know Coach Raymer. He always has big, strong, physical offensive lines. Now he's got a great running back there too. They're just going to run the heck out of that football.
Well, it's fun. I'll tell you what. When they do have a running back, and we've talked about those lines, they've had the Player of the Year, the great center that went to USC. I'll tell you what, they're going to be fantastic if they have a running back.
Yeah. So Chaparral living the life now with a strong running game. Hunter, congratulations as the Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. Look at him go for the Chaparral Pumas. All right, back here live in the studio as we transition to the Rancho Verde High School.
Fastest team in the West.
They gotta be, right?
Unbelievable. I mean, I have to say this. I talked to Coach Chuck Chastain before the Norco King game, and he said, Rancho Verde put the hurt to us. They were the fastest team we were going to see all year, and that's what it was. He said they were just fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what happened in that Upland game. I feel like if Rancho Verde played Upland again, which they played a couple weeks ago, and Upland dominated, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Rancho Verde would give them a better game. Like the Mustangs are getting better as the season goes along.
Yes.
So they had a big win against Temescal Canyon in league play. 54-0 was the final score. Here's head coach Pete Duffy and his son, who just got an offer from LSU, Louisiana State.
He's a sophomore.
He's that good. AJ Duffy. Here's our interview.
Inland Sports. Here with the Rancho Verde Mustangs head coach, Pete Duffy. Coach, real quick, dominating game on both sides of the ball, and just seemed like a flawless performance from both sides. So how do you feel about going into next week?
I feel good about going into next week, but we made a million mistakes tonight, so we got to fix a lot of stuff for next week.
Verde's quarterback, AJ Duffy. Hey, real quick, AJ, great game. How was it feeling to just see the offense just mesh and just fluidly go and being able to put on a dominating performance?
Man, it felt really good. We worked super hard in practice to get to this level, and we just got to keep practicing hard for next week.
Inland Sports.
You're darn right. So big win, AJ, Pete Duffy, the whole crew out there. And, they got Heritage in the final week. If you want to look not too far ahead, I think Elsinore, and Elsinore is a tough team. But
yeah, Elsinore can score on anybody.
Yeah, so Rancho Verde looking really good right now. Who else is looking good? The Kaiser Cats. We got video highlights, too, of the Kaiser Cats. Big shout out to Crystal Blue out there. She's watching right now. She's a huge fan of the Inland Sports Show. But, Jeff, Kaiser keeps on winning. We said off the air. You looked at me and you're like, Kaiser's going to win it all again, aren't they?
I mean, they lose the two best running backs they've had in years.
Algier and then Christian Hunter.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And they just reload. Billy Cardosi, you are running on luck, baby. I got to love you. I'm telling you, I'm taking you to Vegas. I'm going to bet on everything.
And they got those sweet unis for Steel City out there. They wore them, for Kaiser out there. And so they beat Grand Terrace. That's the video you're looking at right now. They beat Grand Terrace 35-7. So the Cats now 6-0 on the year. They are the #1 ranked team in the CIF Southern Section. projection Division 6 rankings, and there's no letting up. I know they have a big game against Summit, not this week, but next week. But they might just finish the regular season undefeated going into the playoffs, and they will be the top seed in D6 unless something crazy happens.
I'll tell you, there's been 2 really good runs at Kaiser. You know, you had the Brook days, and now it's the Billy Cardosi days.
Yes.
And you really got to say, I mean, the kids have bought into everything that he's told them and taught them, and it's a family unit with those guys.
All right, let's go straight into our Inland Sports football rankings because, man, Jeff, the last couple of weeks has really made it difficult for our supercomputer. Like, it's freezing up. You know that little colored wheel of death? The little wheel spins with all the colors. The supercomputer is having a really hard time. Let's check out the rankings right now because we don't know what to do anymore. Well, Centennial's won.
You got to keep them number 1. But Rancho Verde, after that huge win versus Norco.
Well, if you win at Norco, you got to go you got to climb, right?
You have to.
Then we got Cajon. Cajon has done nothing. Their only 2 losses were against Helix, which they should have won on the road, and Servite, which is one of the top teams in Division 1. Then you got Norco, Vista Murrieta, and Murrieta Valley. I'm having a hard time telling those 2 apart. And Chaparral. I mean, Murrieta Valley had some big wins, but do you put Chaparral ahead of Murrieta Valley already? I mean, I got so many questions now.
The sample size is very small. Some of these teams that have just came out of nowhere.
My small brain can't compute what's going on right now.
No.
And then do you put Hemet in the mix? I mean, Hemet just beat Citrus Hill. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
It's unbelievable how this season has worked. There's been some huge upsets, and it's been fun so far, to say the least.
It has been fun, and it's going to get a lot more fun in our next segment because we're going to go from high school football to college football. The head coach at the University of Redlands, Mike Maynard, will join us live on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here. We're here at the new Boost Performance Center here at 500 Harrington Street in Corona, California. We got a bigger space, more room for strength training, speed training, everything our athletes need. We got our student athletes here getting their studying done. So some of the different things we're going to be offering here at the new Boost Performance Center is really focusing on recovery, whether that be physical therapy or active recovery with yoga. We're also going to be offering nutrition classes for the general public. So really taking a more well-rounded approach to fitness for athletes, of course. Come check us out at our new facility. We're going to be opening soon. Can't wait to have you guys here.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Huge win for Seattle. I know there's a lot of bummed out Rams fans this morning. I think off the top of my head, I think the Rams get the 49ers come next week. Yeah. And the 49ers could still be undefeated depending on what happens tonight against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that could be a huge matchup. Yeah. And it's going to help Derek Carr. Again, this is all cyclical. You got to be able to run the football to pass the football, and you got to be able to pass the football to run the football. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the big show every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. It's the Inland Sports Show here at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. Live and amplified, Teen Vision TV 16. Johnny and Anthony hard at work back there in the back, directing the show and helping us get all our awesome big-time, big-name guests on the show, Jeff.
Yes, they do everything.
Right now, the head coach at the University of Redlands, Mike Maynard, joining us live. He is one of the top programs in the entire country, and the Bulldogs are off to an undefeated start. Coach, how are you doing? You guys are, 15 in the nation right now?
That's what I keep hearing, but we're doing well. You know, we're 4-0, and guys are playing well. We've got a really happy team. You know, just things are going the way they're supposed to go. We've avoided injury so far. And for far as that goes, like I say, you know, just things are clicking the way they're supposed to click right now. We're trying to keep it going.
Well, Coach, the last time we had you on, I was kind of joking that I have a very short bucket list of items that I want to see happen, and one of them is for the U of R to host a playoff game. I know we still got a lot of football. I know we've got a lot of football to play, but you guys are off to a good start, and you're trying to make that Sky Act championship happen. And who knows, once the postseason rolls around, that maybe we'll have a playoff game at the Runner. Who knows?
Well, you know, the first thing first, you know, and it's cliche and everybody talks about it. You know, you got to win them one at a time, but that's how you get a home game. You win them all. You can't have a loss or two-loss type situation. So in order to get a home game, you win them all. And Pep, you know, that's what we try to do anyway. We've got a big test this week with Chapman, and yeah, so it's you know, it'd be nice to have a home playoff game, but we're going to try to do what we need to do against Chapman first.
Well, Coach, you got on the road Chapman Saturday night, coming off the big win against Pomona Pizzers, 38-17 this last Saturday. And again, we've talked about your guys on offense, and you've got some really great local ones. Nathan Martinez, Mason Carvalho is another local guy who's been playing big for you. Can you talk about what he's meant to the program and the run game?
Well, Mason has just done a tremendous job, you know, out of Paloma Valley, and he's been everything we had hoped he would be. It was interesting, Pep. We weren't sure where he was going to fit best, you know, as an inside slot receiver, maybe as a running back. We just weren't really quite sure. And everybody told us, you're going to love this guy. He can really run the football, and he's not very big, but he plays big. And he's got tremendous balance. He's one of the, pound for pound, this is interesting, pound for pound, Mason is the strongest player in our program. So if you take all of his max lifts divided by his body weight, that gives you a ratio or pound for pound strength. And he's the strongest guy as a freshman in our football program. We got some pretty strong guys. So it says a lot about Mason. It says a lot about his work ethic. And he was a 99-yard rusher last week. He's been, you know, on 14, 15, 16 carries. We're not using him, you know, 20, 30 carries, but he's still producing really good yardage, even on 14, 15, 16 carries. And, you know, we just couldn't be happier with Mason.
Well, Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about career win number 200 and counting at this point. Do you take much stock in those milestones, or is it another win in your book?
No, someday we'll celebrate that together, Pep, and I'll enjoy having time, and we'll talk about all those things. But right now, you know, we got to focus on what's really important, and that's, you know, getting our team better, playing better every single week, fixing whatever the concerns are. Last week we had penalties. We've done a lot of work this week to try to create that, and it's just important, you know. Football is about team, you know, it's about family, it's about the unity of the team. It's not about one coach winning so many games. That's not really important at this time.
Well, Coach, finally, let me ask you this. You've seen and coached a lot of football. This year's team, where does it kind of stack up to maybe some teams that you've had in the past? And did you kind of see the writing on the wall before the season started that, if everything kind of comes together, that this could be a special group going forward into 2019?
Pep, you're right, and that's an interesting question. And we started to predict this as a coaching staff last spring when we were going through our strength and conditioning, and guys were really getting after it in terms of strength. And then, of course, we turned that into a great spring practice, and then obviously coming back here in August to start for the season. You can just tell there's something about this team. Really like this team. We talk a lot about attitude and character and effort, and maybe those are cliche as well. But around here, you got to become a Bulldog, and to be a great Bulldog, you got to have the right attitude, character, and effort. And this is a team that really has that. And I credit our coaching staff; they do a tremendous job recruiting, but they also teach attitude, character, and effort. And when you got a bunch of really quality guys, guess what? You're going to have a really quality team. And I think that's where we're at. Great guys make good teams, and I think that this is going to be a really exceptional year for us.
Well, Coach, it's always great hearing from you. Please tell all the coaches, because we're friends with all those guys, Coach Good, Coach Mariani, and tell Coach Mariani I'm still waiting on a big bowl of pasta and his world-famous sauce over here.
It is world famous. It's unbelievable. Coach Mariani, do you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah.
What's going on, Pep? How you doing, buddy?
Where's my pasta? I'm starving over here.
Yeah. That sauce is expensive, Pep. We're going to see. We're going to see. Where's my Inland Sports Show shirt?
What's that?
My sports. I'll get a Pep shirt or nothing. Maybe we'll make a trade. I'll ask for a shirt.
Hey, Coach, you were breaking out. But
I will say this. I wear my Redlands shirt at least once a week to bed, and my wife thinks it looks great on me. That's the only reason I wear it.
I'll give him some pasta.
Yeah.
Jeffrey gets the pasta.
That's right. Pep don't get nothing. I'll get a shirt.
Coach Maynard, you guys are the best. Best of luck Saturday night on the road at Chapman.
Hey, thanks. We love you, Pep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach Maynard. We appreciate the time. That's Coach Mike Maynard, head coach of the U of R Bulldogs.
Coach Mariani, I see him all over the place. He hustles. He's everywhere. And what a great guy, what a great staff, and what a great program.
And you've got your U of R shirt. And Jeff, you're very slim already. You've lost a lot of weight. You're looking good. You put the U of R shirt on, and you're probably irresistible.
I look like a quarterback again. I'm telling you what, I've lost 70 darn pounds, and I walk around and I feel good. My pants don't like it, but that's okay because I just look.
Is that Nathan Martinez or is that Jeff Gorham over there?
It is me. I'm telling you, I feel great. And I love wearing my Redlands shirt.
Let's wrap up the segment with this, our Boost Training broadcast schedule. A list of all the local games you can find, radio, TV, online as well, including University of Redlands on the road, taking on Chapman. You can listen live Saturday night on 1490 AM KMET ABC Radio. But here's your broadcast schedule. Thursday night, hey, we've got more live radio on the Inland Sports Channel. Patriot versus Ramona. That'll be fun in River Valley League play. And big Friday night, we got Riverside Poly versus Orange Vista on Teen Vision TV 16. You can find them on Vimeo. We got Hemet versus Beaumont on 1490 AM KMET. And Jeff, we got a doubleheader on Riverside TV. I listed Hillcrest versus Norte Vista, but it's also Arlington versus Paloma Valley.
Two games, one night. In fact,
which one are you doing?
I am doing the Hillcrest Norte Vista game, and I have a friend of ours.
You've got a guy. Trent
Rush, the voice of the Angels, is going to be my co-host.
How did you get him?
I begged him.
So Trent Rush, Jeff Gorham on the call for Hillcrest versus Novi Riverside TV. But don't you dare sleep on the Wildcats and the Lions. Paloma and Arlington also on Riverside TV on Friday night. So big week of football on local airwaves.
And one other thing.
What?
You and I are hosting We're going outside of our sporting box, are we not?
Way outside.
We are hosting the Long Night of Arts and Innovation for the city of Riverside. You and I will be hosting.
So what? Art, science, technology, music,
food, and more food.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a great time. But yeah, check us out. Pep and I are both hosting.
That's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night
on Riverside TV. When we come back, yes, Coach Cook, I see you. You're blowing up my phone right now. Coach Cook is hitting me up saying
he just called me too.
I know he wants to be on so bad. When we come back, Life Pacific men's basketball coach Tim Cook, big recruit,
huge recruit,
and he's got a big time schedule again. So we'll talk with Coach Cook when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Maynard, the head football coach at the University of Redlands, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Here at the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes, we provide a collegiate experience for our students. They study here, they train here, balancing that student-athlete life. And it's a great experience. I recommend for anyone who's serious about their student and athlete life. So because we're a small private school, we're really able to bring a lot of technology to our students. So we're able to provide a lot of what you wouldn't find at your typical public school. We really feel like we're on the cutting edge of education and on sports development as well. So whether it be recovery or just their strength and speed development, you can find it here at the new Boost Performance Center. We're providing everything our athletes need to be the best student athletes they can be.
Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
Yes, it is the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified every Wednesday at 6 o'clock here at Teen Vision TV 16. Do you know anyone more impatient than Tim Cook?
No, I know nobody that's more impatient than that guy. You know, normally bald guys are always so calm, cool, and collective, but you know, Tim Cook, he's a hustler. He goes out and gets guys, and that's why he is so successful.
All right, so before we get to Tim Cook, he is standing by live. We wanted to talk a little CBU basketball as well because it was WAC Media Day.
That's right.
Western Athletic Conference Media Day, where they kind of did all the preseason rankings and who's going to finish where and whatnot. And we've got some highlights from CBU last season that we want to show because, Jeff, CBU, according to the WAC Media Day, preseason pick to finish in 5th place in the WAC.
Well, they don't know anything.
How can that be?
The media has no clue. The media biases towards like Utah Valley and those guys. No way. Lancers are going to win it all, and it's going to be behind that guy right there. The preseason player of the year, Lon Aqua.
He tested the NBA draft waters. Remember, he declared for the NBA draft, didn't hire an agent, came back to CBU. So it's not a shock that a guy who is NBA caliber talent is going to be your preseason player of the year, right? I mean, he's that good.
He is that good. He's a dynamic player, and he's one of those guys that makes everyone on the court much better. And that's why I think CBU is going to be a very good team in the WAC. Don't say 5th ever again, Pep.
How dare they?
Yes.
The women's team was picked to finish runner-up, 2nd place in the WAC. So a little bit more respect, I guess you could say, for the CBU women's basketball team. But the men's team, preseason to finish in 5th. But if you ask Coach Croy, if you ask pretty much anybody, how much value do you put in those preseason rankings? Probably not a whole lot, right? I mean, they're preseason.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that as anything. Just say it's got to be great for the locker room, for the mirror. You put that up there, and you tell them every day, you pick 5th, you pick 5th. And I'll tell you what, it's great fodder, and I hope that they can use that to win the league.
CBU is coming off a season in which they reached the postseason in their first year as a Division I program, able to get to the CBI first round. In fact, they should have beat, I think it was Loyola Marymount in that first round game. They probably should have beat LMU in that first round game. But, man, for their first taste of Division I basketball, and what a season it was for the Lancers.
Yes, it was. And I'll tell you, Coach Croy and his staff, they've really they went overseas. In fact, they were in Australia earlier this summer.
Right.
They've had some games under their belt. So that always helps when you get some extra practices.
Yeah, so now CBU, the preseason pick 5th in the WAC, which is unbelievable. All right, thumbs up. We're going to, I think he's live from the Life Pacific Dungeon. I'm not sure where no, he's one of our favorite guys in the world. It's Tim Cook, the head basketball coach and AD at Life Pacific out there, the Warriors. Coach, where are you right now?
Oh, no, we don't hear him.
Oh, we had him, and then we lost him.
We're losing him. That's why I can always speak for Coach Cook. I'll tell you what, he's got he came out locally here to the Inland Empire and brought in a guy. If we can get talk to him, he signed, I think, one of the biggest steals, and you and I have talked about him.
It was Gavin Kroll out of Patriot High School, and we've seen a lot of local basketball. And, Jeff, you were always excited about Gavin Kroll out of Patriot.
I'll tell you what, Gavin Kroll, I think, has the biggest upside of any senior in the Inland Empire area. I think his ceiling is going to be incredible. He's going to be one of the best players that will ever come out of Life Pacific. I've talked to other coaches. I've talked to Rick Croy. I've talked to David Patrick, and they all say the same thing. He is a phenomenal player and a great get for the great Timmy Cook.
Now, we're going to get Coach Cook in just a second, but we've talked about this before at Life Pacific. They never dodge the huge games. Their schedule, if you look at it, they're in the GSAC, but their non-conference schedule looks more like a Division I schedule.
Oh, they're playing everybody. They're playing CBU, I believe. They're playing UCR November 1st. That'll be the first game of the season. And I believe they have 5 Division I schools on their slate for this upcoming season.
I wrote a couple of them down. They got Boise State. They've got UC Irvine. They've got Cal State Bakersfield. I mean, just those games alone,
yes,
those are huge games before you even get to conference play. They're going to find out how good they are. In fact, we saw them play Azusa Pacific. I know that's a D2 program, but they always play these really good teams before they get to conference play.
And I'll tell you what, it helps them going into conference play because when you play Division I school after Division I school and then you go into their daunting league, I'll tell you what, he has his guys always mentally, physically prepared to play in his tough conference.
Now, they play UC Riverside on November 1st. Is that their season opener?
It's UC Riverside season opener, but see, NAIA basketball, you can play earlier, so that I imagine that Life Pacific will have a couple games under their belt before they play the Highlanders, which I am excited to call that game.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. November 1st, and Tim Cook is a former CBU assistant, so he's got those local Riverside ties, and now he's at Life Pacific creating this basketball monster where they're playing all these great big-time Division I programs, and now starting to land some of our IE talent like a Gavin Kroll. It's hard to recruit out here.
Oh, he's in the past. Remember, he had Hezekiah Banks, who was a great player out of Woodcrest Christian.
Yes, you're exactly right.
And like I said, Gavin Kroll, I think, is probably has the best ceiling of any senior in the Inland Empire. I think he's going to be a phenomenal get and will lead them to many championships down the road.
Now, Coach Cook does a great job at handling those athletic directors / basketball duties.
Oh, that's right. He does it all.
At Life Pacific, hashtag Warrior Up. But having to split those duties, it must be tough during basketball season. And his son, Austin, is a big-time player. So he's trying to be dad, too.
Yeah, Dad. I'll tell you what, Austin Cook is a pretty darn good player. He's a senior at Damien High School. I know that the couple of schools, if we can get a hold of Coach, I know where he's possibly going to head. Maybe we can talk to him.
Jeff, don't move because I think the signal is good. Coach Cook, are you there?
There he is.
Are we here?
There we are.
Hey, that's what you call the stretch. We were stretching so we could get to you.
I'm not you guys anything extra for those beautiful things you just said.
Hey, Coach, you just got out of practice. How was practice tonight for the Life Pacific Warriors?
I cannot be more happy. Thank you for all the great things. I think Gavin Kroll is an unbelievable get for us, and I think that our schedule and everything is just falling into place with what we want to do, and I cannot thank just this university and all the support we're really building here.
Now, Coach, we were just kind of going down your non-conference schedule and all those big games. And, of course, on November 1st, you'll be out here at the Student Rec Center taking on UC Riverside. You like those big games. You like playing Boise State. You like playing UC Irvine, who's a tournament team. You like those.
I fell on my head when I was a kid. so I'm not sure if I'm that smart, but I really love playing great competition and branding our school, and we're competitive enough to go in here and give them great games, and then it gets us ready for the best NAI conference in the country. And we're so fortunate, and we're ready to play these games and take on these Division I teams, but we also get a lot of learning experience out of them. And we hope that we give them a good look too, because, that's why we get the games, so that we give them a good look for the season. Everyone can feel good about each other and move on with the season.
Well, if you beat Boise State or Bakersfield or especially Irvine, you'll be on Sports Center. You'll be all over the nation.
If I beat Irvine, I'm retiring.
Now, speaking of UC Irvine, and we did a little segue with Austin, is that one of the schools that your son is looking at?
It is UC. He got it back from a visit from Idaho State and just had a wonderful time, and just does not want to go out of state. So he's down to a couple schools. UC Irvine and University of San Diego are his top two choices right now as he heads into the season.
Well, why is Life Pacific not his number one choice? He could average like 50.
Well, because legally, I can't pay him enough money to come here. So he's going to see that. But I have been trying to recruit him every day. I get the jokes every day from my coaches. Oh, let's see how good Cook is as a recruiter. You got Gavin Kroll, but he can recruit his own home. So, but it's his journey. You know, he really is he's a mid-major Division I player. I believe he wants to go and see that level, and I believe he'll be successful at it. But, you know, he's always got Dad to fall back on. I told him that.
Hey, Coach, you got a fine-looking goatee, but make sure you keep the camera on your eyeballs.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm not used to this TV stuff. This TV stuff's throwing me all off.
Dude, hey, and trust me, you got a face for radio, though.
Hey, just because you lost a lot of weight and looking better than me now.
Hey, Jeff just says that because he loves your laugh, man. When we used to have you on the show and you would just start cracking up, he used to love it. You got like one of the best laughs.
Oh, I love it, man. You guys bring me joy, and this business gives me joy. I love college basketball. I can't wait to get it started.
Coach, yeah, you're the best. But hold on, you're a Star Wars nerd. Let's end it on this. Are we going to find out who's Rey's parents in Episode 9, which comes out around Christmas? Star Wars Episode 9.
I don't know, but can you just give me Darth Vader again? Like, I need Darth Vader or Darth Maul. I need one of those villains to come back. I'm you all the time.
Hey, okay, hold on. One follow-up question. The reporter in me. Okay, so I don't have your schedule in front of me, but do you play December 21st, which I believe is the night that Star Wars Episode 9 comes out? Do you play that night?
We do. We have a home game at 6 o'clock. That doesn't mean I can't catch the 9 p.m. show.
Yeah. Get a big win and get over to the movie theater.
I might have to come out to Riverside.
Bring it on. Jeff and I will go with you.
We went to the opening of the last one together. You can sit between us.
I can wear the Obi-Wan Kenobi robe.
Yes, you can.
Oh, Cookie, you're the best. Thanks for joining us from your car. We appreciate it.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Hey, your goatee looks great. Your bald head even looks better.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Coach. That's Tim Cook, the head basketball coach at Life Pacific, and also the AD out there for the Warriors. Funny dude.
Great guy. One of my favorites of all time.
All right, let's wrap it up, man. We've gone like an hour strong. It's dinner time. We're all starving, but I got to thank Johnny and Anthony and the whole Teen Vision TV 16 out there team getting Tim Cook on live from the Life Pacific dungeon.
Oh, yeah,
it looked like he was in a cave or something.
Man, I'll tell you what, it was rough. We were trying to figure it out. There's people crawling underneath here.
We were stretching, man. We were just going for it.
I think it was the Gremlins because I got my 2 little kids in the back right there. I don't want to call them in. They're nuts anyways.
Big thanks to Dennis Gregovich, Tim Cook, and Mike Maynard, the head football coach at the U of R, for joining us live tonight. We'll do it all over again next Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, right here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.